Hello, welcome to yet another review video on my channel. If this is the first review video of mine that you've ever seen, I always assume that if you're searching for this product, it's because you're looking for somebody else's thoughts because you're looking to buy it yourself. So I always try and make these reviews as informative as possible and cover everything that you could need to know about the product. So today we're going to be talking about Clinique's Even Better Refresh Foundation. First of all, I'm going to talk about what the Even Better Refresh Foundation is, how it compares to the original Even Better formula. Then I'm going to do a first impressions, a bit of a wear test throughout the day, see how it stays on my skin. And then lastly, I'm going to finish up by telling you about the ingredients and about what it claims to do for your skin. That being said, if there is anything else that you would like to know about the product that I haven't covered in this video, do feel free to leave it as a comment and I will do my best to answer your question. While I've got your attention, I would absolutely love it if you could subscribe to my channel. I make new videos and put them out around once or twice a week. They're not always reviews. There's quite a lot of lifestyle in there, music, travel. There's all sorts thrown in there as well, but I would love to have you along for the ride. And also, if you do find this video at all helpful, it would mean the world to me if you could give it a thumbs up. This just tells me what you like watching, what I should make more of, and also it helps other people to see the video and to find my channel, so that would be so helpful if you could do that. Now, I think that's all my housekeeping done, so I can sound less like a robot and get on with the review. Okay, so Even Better Refresh is Clinique's newest foundation. It obviously gets its name from Clinique's Even Better Foundation, which was launched a few years ago and is definitely a bestseller. It's one of my absolute favourites, alongside the anti-blemish foundation that Clinique do, which is my go-to foundation for every day. So first of all, we're going to talk a little bit about the original Even Better foundation, so then we can compare it with the Even Better Refresh. Even Better is, in the words of Clinique's website, and I'm going to read off my laptop now, so I'm cheating, a moderate coverage foundation with treatment benefits that conceals and protects against future discoloration and helps to even out skin tone over time. I love the Even Better foundation for my skin because it is very light and natural, but you do still get that moderate coverage. It's not at all cakey and it is brightening but without being super dewy, which is what I'm going for because I have combination oily skin. It is also worth noting that the original Even Better foundation had an SPF factor of 15. I just said SPF factor and that's like one of my pet peeves because SPF stands for sun protection factor anyway, so SPF factor doesn't make any sense. Anyway, it's SPF 50. So now let's move on to the Even Better Refresh, which looks like this, and it promises to be a hydrating and repairing makeup. I like this tube more than the original Even Better bottle because you can see how much is in there. The casing of the Even Better is quite solid, so when you squeeze it to get it out, when it gets to the end, you're quite aware of the fact that you can't really squeeze out those last bits. So with this, that seems to not be the issue. It also comes in this box, which is pretty cool because it's virtually the same colour as the foundation, and I would really like to know if this box changes colour depending on the shade that you buy. So if you've bought a different shade and it's come in this box, can you tell me if it's a different colour? So the Even Better Refresh is apparently aimed at skin types 1, 2 and 3, meaning very dry, dry combination and combination oily. Skin type 4 is left off that list, so that's for very oily skin. But that being said, because it does have that slightly dewy finish to it, I don't think that it would appeal to people with oily skin so much anyway. The website lists this as having a natural finish. In my experience, I think it is definitely natural to dewy. It's a lot less matte than the Anti-Blemish Solutions foundation, which is a natural finish. It does not contain an SPF from what I can see, and it's slightly more expensive than the original Even Better, retailing at £30 when the original Even Better is £28.50. In fact, there are very few similarities between this and the original Even Better based on their online description. So I do wonder whether they've just called it Even Better Refresh to kind of ride off the success of that Even Better foundation, because other than the fact that it is a foundation and you put it on your face, and it does have a brightening finish, but aside from that, I can't really see any similarities. Maybe I'm wrong. There's no mention of prevention of discoloration or anything like that, which the original Even Better really focused on. I suppose that still could be a property of the foundation that they've just chosen not to market, but the only thing that implies that I've seen so far is literally just the name of the foundation, so I'm not really sure about that. However, from here on in, I'm just going to be judging it as a completely different foundation. So the Even Better Refresh is a full coverage, natural finish foundation. I would say natural to dewy finish. And it's a hydrating foundation as well, which I'm pleased about in this horrible weather because I feel bad for my skin every time I go outside. So as with all Clinique products, this foundation is allergy tested and 100% fragrance free. This one is also oil free with no parabens, and it also promises to be streak free. So I think I've done enough sitting and chatting. Let's hand the video over to Past Me, who is standing and chatting and trying out the Even Better Refresh foundation for the first time. Hello, welcome to my bathroom. I'm sorry about the lighting and about the echo and about my face, but I'm about to try the Clinique Even Better Refresh. Today I've got a little sample size because I wasn't sure what colour I was going to be, but I didn't have time to get a proper colour match. So I got a little colour match and she thinks I'll be number 4. So I'm going to try it out with this sample today. Sorry, I think I'm out of focus and it's really distracting me. So I'm going to try it with this little sample today, and then if it's the right colour then I will purchase the full product. So I've already done all my skincare today and I've got some primer on as well. So I'm just going to be trying this foundation. I'm going to pop a little bit on my hand. Oh, these pots are not great for this, but hey ho. There we go. Hey ho! Let's go! Okay, good. I also usually use concealer first, but I wanted to see what the coverage was like with this Even Better Refresh, especially because they claim that the coverage is a higher coverage than the standard Even Better. So yeah, I am going to put this on before I've put my concealer on today. So this is my full face with just foundation. I do look a bit like an egg, but I do think that the coverage is definitely higher than the standard Even Better, but you do still have that sort of glowy finish. I don't know how well you can tell that in the camera, or you can sort of see there, like it isn't matte, it's definitely not matte. And I really like it. I wonder whether this colour might be a bit yellow for my skin, just because I tend to be very pink, but yeah, so far so good. So I'm going to finish the rest of my makeup, including concealer, and then I'm going to do a wear test basically, and I've got quite a lot to do today. Definitely for me, long wearing foundation is one of the most important things behind coverage, because if I put a foundation on in the morning, I then obviously put like bronzer and blush and highlight over it and things like that. The last thing I want to be doing later on in the day is having to top up the foundation, because then I have to top up all of those other things as well, or I look like this, an egg. So fingers crossed it will wear well. Today is not a good eyeliner day. Okay, so I've got my full face of makeup on now. It did go on really nicely. The only thing that I did notice was that when I got fallout from my eyeshadow, it did cling to my foundation a little bit more than normal, and I think that's because I tend to go for a little bit more of a matte finish than this. So it is that little bit more tacky still. But yeah, I was able to cover it up or get it off fairly easily, and also to be fair, it might just be that I didn't put my eyeshadow on very well today, so we won't judge it based on that. So Clinique promised 24-hour wear out of this foundation, which is quite a steep claim, but I've seen that focused on a lot through their social media marketing campaigns and things about this foundation, so we're going to give it a little wear test. It is now a different day, and I've noticed that the files of the wear test are no longer on my SD card, so we're going to be doing a wear test again. This is the same foundation, but this one is in the shade 01. I just sort of thought I'd try a different shade today, but as you can see, it's gone on really smoothly again. I actually prefer it this time to when I wore it last. I don't know whether it's because, oh no, I think I used a beauty blender then as well. Maybe it's just the shade then. But right now it's 10:30 AM. I have had it on for about 45 minutes probably, but it's going to be a long day today. I've got several appointments that I need to walk to. The weather's not great. I will be tutoring kids, and I quite often sit with my hand on my face, which isn't great for foundation obviously, and then later on I think I've got a pretty long drive, so it's going to be quite a late one for me, and I'll make sure that I keep checking in and showing you the foundation. But right now it's looking pretty flawless. I think the camera isn't picking up on any of my sort of pores on my nose, and that like you can see a few pores through here, but aside from that, like it's one of the best foundations I've ever tried. It is now nearly 8 PM, so my foundation has been on for about 10 hours, and this is the shape that it's in. I've got a bit of spot coming through on my chin, which is really annoying, but you can look past the terrible lighting, I'm pretty excited about how well it has held up. But I've still got a good few hours in my day as yet, so we'll see if it lives up to 24-hour, but it is looking very good. I'm home just shoving things in a bag, but I've just taken a couple of selfies, which I'll put here in some decent lighting so you can really see what the foundation looks like. It's 8:10 and was when I took those photos. I did also take one from the side profile where I think you can see a little bit more of my sort of larger pores around here. But aside from that, like honestly, the foundation is holding up so well. So, since we last spoken, I have driven back to Norwich, which was about a 3.5-hour drive, and then sat with my mum and my sister for a bit and had a chat. It is now 1:45. I definitely should be asleep, but my foundation is like a bit patchy, but pretty much still intact. I keep looking at the screen because I'm trying to see my own foundation, but I'm really impressed actually. So I'm going to take it off now, but it has been on for what, 15 hours, so I'm not prepared to try it for 24. I don't understand when people don't take the makeup off before bed. I physically can't do it, but I think it'd still be in decent shape in a few hours time if I didn't touch it. I think that's the key when you're trying to make your foundation last longer. Just don't touch your face, or if you do it like that. Don't like rub your face at any point. That's how I keep my makeup on when I'm in the shower sometimes. It stays on as long as you don't rub your face. I've gone off on a bit of a tangent. It's 1:45. I'm going to sleep. It's probably worth noting that I did set mine with a powder, as I do every day, and it did leave a little bit of an impression on my front door when I was looking through my peephole waiting for my Deliveroo. So I think it might transfer a little bit, but obviously that's often the case with dewier finish foundations anyway, so I don't know, but I just thought it was worth mentioning. So basically, in conclusion, it doesn't look like you've just put it on 14 hours after, but also it does wear very well and it definitely holds its own throughout the day, particularly for a non-matte finish foundation, because I find that those ones tend to wear less well. Good morning, my parcel has just arrived. I have bought the shade 01 from ASOS. I think I mentioned to you the other day that I tried the shade 04, but it looked okay on my face. It looked a little bit too yellow for me, but I went out and shot some photos for Instagram that day, and when I messed around with the colours a little bit and brought the saturation up and things, my face was yellow, so clearly that was the wrong colour for me. This is actually 01, this is the tester, and I've got it in here as well. So I ordered it off of ASOS, which is great that Clinique's on ASOS now because you can just get next day delivery and it's so no fuss. However, if you're not sure what shade you're going to be, don't buy it from ASOS, or don't buy it until you get a colour match basically, because if you try it and you're the wrong colour, you can't take it back, as is the same with all other foundations. So before you buy something online, either make sure that you're really confident about the colour, or that you go into store and just get colour matched for it. I'm not working with ASOS or Clinique on this video at all. I just wanted to show you how I did it. I've bought it all with my own money, etc. But I will pop the link to this foundation on ASOS down below, and you can have a proper look at all the colours and order it from there if you want to. Okay, so what's in it? The key ingredients include hyaluronic acid, which helps to plump the skin and reduce the appearance of fine lines and dryness. Salicylic acid, which helps to retexturize the skin, and that's a really common ingredient of most foundation and skincare products. Salicylic acid has all sorts of benefits. It's from the same ingredient family as aspirin, so it can help to soothe your skin. It's a common ingredient in products that target breakouts, and is also a gentle exfoliant. And it also includes peptides to help keep your skin looking smooth for that flawless finish effect. So in conclusion, Clinique have labelled this, and I'm going to be reading from the laptop again, a 24-hour hydrating foundation, which I think is true. 24 hours is probably a bit of a stretch, but it's definitely long wearing, and I didn't feel any tightness, any dryness in my skin while wearing it. That being said, I don't have dry skin, so I can't speak for everybody. They say that it has flawless full coverage and a natural finish. I would say that both of those things are true. It does have full coverage, it went on very nicely. There were no streaks, it didn't oxidize a different colour or anything like that, and it does have a natural finish in that it does look like your skin but better. They said that it creates a virtually poreless look, and this is the one that I'm not convinced about. I do have large pores around here, and I wouldn't say that they're a really big issue for me, but it's definitely something that I notice, and I did notice it with this foundation on still. So poreless, I think, is a bit of a stretch, but it does do a good job. And they also say that it smooths and plumps for younger looking skin. I agree that it did make my skin look very healthy, very youthful. Obviously, also, though, I don't have mature skin, so I'm not sure what effect it would have on skin other than my own. Basically, my overall impression of the foundation is that I really like it. Obviously, I bought it and I'm keeping it. Thank you for watching. Just quickly to reiterate what I said at the start, please hit thumbs up if you have found this video helpful, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and leave a comment down below with any other questions that you have. And also, if you've tried the product, please leave a comment with your impressions of the product as well, so then people can scroll down while they're watching this video and see everybody else's experiences as well, because obviously everybody's skin is different and it's good to have as many opinions as you can before you make a decision. I just messed up the word opinions and we're not going to talk about it. See you soon. I've been dancing on top of cars and stumbling out of bars. I follow you through the dark, can't get enough. You're the medicine and the pain, the tattoo inside my brain. And baby, you know it's obvious, I'm a sucker for you. Dancing alone.